Good evening. It's been almost 2 years since Prime Minister Stephen Harper rose in the House of Commons to offer an apology to the former students of the Indian residential schools in Canada. He called the treatment of the children in the residential schools a sad chapter in Canadian history. This week, in a courtroom in Port Alberni, a man who pleaded guilty to sexually abusing boys at an island residential school apologized to his victims. That man was a teacher in the late 1960s and early 1970s, and he was sentenced today for the abuse of 5 boys over a 5-year period. A News reporter Brent Shearer was there.
These men have been waiting a long time for this day. Their former teacher who abused them as children is finally going to be punished for his crime.
I've been carrying that guilt and shame for years, for 35 to 45 years. You know, there's nothing, it's beyond my control. I can't really do anything for the outcome, but I can certainly do my best to find ways of coping and dealing with it in a positive way.
The boys were wards of the Port Alberni Indian Residential School in the late 1960s. All were between 7 and 12 years old when their teacher, Donald Raymond Olin, sexually abused them. On weekends, Olin would sometimes take the boys to his cabin on Sprout Lake or out of town to Nanaimo or Victoria, where he would sexually assault them before returning them back to the residential school. Yesterday in court, Olin pleaded guilty to abusing the boys, and at one point he apologized to his 5 victims who traveled from their home in New Hazelton to read heart-wrenching victim impact statements. Today, the judge sentenced Olin to 2 years in a federal prison, a term both the defense and Crown had agreed to in a joint sentencing submission. But Olin's victims and their supporters thought the term was too lenient.
I was kind of hoping for the max, like the stuff that we endured as children. We went through trauma, we went through hurt feelings, like the 2 years they handed down to him wasn't enough. 2 years is not enough for all the stuff that he did to the guys. That's not right.
My heart went out to the guys because they're the ones he did it to when they were little, and he only got 2 years. 2 years is nothing.
Some of Olin's victims have struggled with alcohol and substance abuse in their lives, and now that he's going to jail, they will try to move on.
It's a new beginning again. I gotta start trying to heal myself.
Olin will be put through sexual rehabilitation counseling at the federal prison, where he's spending the next 2 years. In Port Alberni, Brent Shearer, A News.